Hey, who's up for potato salad? Today we are going to make a 5-star, a fully loaded potato salad, and a southern style potato salad. So of course, let's get started. The first thing we need is potatoes, about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, all chopped up like that. I'm not peeling any of them, so they're all three going to be about the same. We also need some onions. There you go. Peeled and diced. That's about half an onion. And we'll put it into a container to start off until we need it. We also need some celery. There is some celery. We'll give it a nice chop. Chop it however you want. I tend to chop mine a little small. If you like bigger chunks, make bigger chunks. And that is 1 stalk of celery. That should be more than enough for the 1.5 pounds-ish of potatoes we need. They've been cooking and they're ready to drain now. They cooked about 25 minutes. So we're going to drain them into a colander. Now I'm going to transfer them to a bowl till we're ready to use them. Let them cool down a little bit so they're a little easier to work with. Alright, so let's make some dressing for this potato salad. Into a bowl, 1 cup of mayo. Ish. You know, you don't have to be exact. As you can see, I didn't measure it. I tried to get as close as I could to it. I think that's pretty close. And this is 1/4 cup of buttermilk. Now, obviously, if you don't have buttermilk, use whatever you got on hand. 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. And along with that, 2 tablespoons of whole grain mustard. Next up is a good teaspoon-ish of dill. It's probably about 2 teaspoons. Teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. And that should ought to do. Let's mix all that together. So here's our potatoes. And to that we're going to put the celery we chopped up. And of course the onions. If you got red onions, use them. I didn't. Mix those together before we put the potato salad sauce in. Just to make it easier to combine everything. And here comes our sauce. Pretty runny, but not to panic. It's really good. It's got a really good taste to it. I didn't use everything that I made just because it was kind of runny. I used about 2/3 and you can see there it coated everything. Just perfect. Had the right amount of taste and everything. There's potato salad number 1. Next up is fully loaded potato salad. Just almost like a fully loaded baked potato. We need some potatoes, some bacon, some onions. Those are the basics. So here's our potatoes again, 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. Give them a wash. Grab them. Give them a chop. Now I've got a baking sheet. These are going to be baked in the oven. Throw some parchment paper down. And let's get those potatoes. I've chopped them all up. You want to spread them evenly onto that baking pan. And when we're done, oh, forgot I still had a second lift. Well, there you go. That's plenty of potato salad. That'll easily feed 4 or 5 people, easily. Now I'm just making sure right here that we make sure they're even. And this is olive oil I'm drizzling on top. That's going to help give it a little crispiness. Salt, pepper, of course. You want to throw a little garlic on it, which I did. Whatever you would like to try. Into the oven, 425, about 20 minutes, flipping once or twice. This is jalapenos. I had them in the freezer all chopped up, ready to go, so didn't even have to do any prep work on that. Of course, there's our green onions sliced up into usable pieces rather than using regular white onions this time. We're going to use green onions. And that's 2/3 of a cup. So here we are at about the halfway mark. I've taken all our potatoes and flipped them around. Now we're going to make our bacon. So we'll just plop that into our frying pan and we're going to cook it down. Now you can make it as crispy as you want. My daughter actually likes it like this. I like it a little more cooked. So that's what we're going to do. Now here's our potatoes fresh out of the oven. They've been in there about 25 minutes and you can see they're nice and golden brown. And they're just about ready to go. You don't want to let them get too crispy. Into our bowl goes our potatoes, and I've let them cool for a little bit, half an hour, while I was getting everything else ready. And along with that, the bacon that we had cooked. Oh, it's good just like that. Green onions are next, of course. And there you go. Now, the one thing I should have done, only done this lots of times, get a bigger bowl. There was enough room, but it started spilling all over the place. It made it difficult. I don't know why I didn't have a bigger bowl to start with. So, that's what we're going to do. I don't like the extra dishes to clean, but this is much easier to mix everything around in. Alright, that's done. So next is our sauce, which is 1 cup of sour cream. And about a half a cup of mayonnaise. So I tried it. If you want to spice it up, go ahead. I wouldn't suggest it, but there's nothing stopping you from doing it. And there you go. We're going to put all that in. We're going to mix it around. Make sure everything's nice and coated, which is what we want. And of course, the last piece of the puzzle, you don't get a loaded baked potato or a loaded potato salad without having cheese. So of course that's just my standard Mexican 3-cheese mix. If you want just cheddar, put in cheddar. If you want just whatever, it's your potato salad. You put whatever you want in. Whatever you think is going to make a great loaded baked potato salad. And there you go. That's potato salad number 2. Okay, our last potato salad is Southern style potato salad. And there's our 1.5-ish, 2 pounds of potatoes. And we're going to cook them on the stove, chop them up. We'll get to them later. That's a 1/2 pound of bacon all chopped up and mushed up. That's what happens when you throw it back in the fridge until you're ready for it. We're going to crispy that down to whatever kind of crispy you want. That's about the way I like it. So I think we're going to get that out of the pan right now and let it cool down until we need it. There's our finished bacon. Don't forget, save that bacon grease because you never know when you're going to need it. Our potatoes have been cooking about 25 minutes, half an hour, not too long. Let's strain out the water. And of course, if you really want to, you could save the water too. My dad used to all the time. So there's our potatoes. We're going to get them into a bowl and let them cool down just a little bit until we're ready to work with them. You can see the steam still coming off of them. You don't want to run under cold water because that's going to ruin the potatoes. Just let them cool. So here's our sauce. That's a tablespoon of sugar, about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And of course I had a hard time with the salt, so I had to take the lid off my shaker. Same thing with the pepper. It's a lot easier to take the lid off. So that's about a teaspoon. And this is the dry ingredients, so we're going to mix all that together before we get the rest of the ingredients. Next up is 2 tablespoons of mustard. I think I'd probably put a little more in there. And of course, what have we done in every single one? Mayo. This is around a cup-ish of mayo. And we're going to mix all that together. This is looking good so far. I mean, it's almost drinking sauce. You got to give it a taste to make sure it's okay. And to this we need eggs. Those are 5 hard-boiled eggs, all chopped up. So into the potatoes goes our bacon. Yummy. And of course all our chopped up eggs go on top of that. Looking good so far. And then we're just going to mix all that together. That looks good. Into it goes the celery that we had chopped up. There's no onions in this one, which I found a little strange, but it was good. And now goes our sauce. And we'll put the whole thing on and give her a good mix. Make sure it's all well combined with our potatoes and bacon and stuff. There we go. Oh, the last ingredient is hot sauce. Couple dashes. You don't want too much, because it's just a little too spicy. And there you go. Oh, I like to top it off with paprika too, so that's optional, of course. If you don't want to, you don't. But I remember potato salads when I was a kid, always having that on it. But there you go. There's our 3 salads. 5-star, loaded, and southern style. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you give the recipes a try. That was fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, leave me a comment below. Give me a like. I'd sure appreciate that. And if you haven't done it, please subscribe. Hit the bell. That'll tell you the next time I upload a video. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.